Hi Libra, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your end of the month read. I'm going to be sticking just to the tarot right now. I'm going to be doing a totally separate video on the Cancer full moon that's happening on the 29th into the 30th, depending on where you live in the world. So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to time sample out. Start with money / career. Not everybody's working, so money. Having to do with money that you make for yourself, money that comes to you via other people, investments, lawsuits, inheritance, anything like that. Also, I'm going to be doing relationship read. I'm going to be doing a spread for you and then a separate spread, Celtic cross spread for an energy that you're dealing with. And we're just going to keep it at that. I don't have, for me to do the single, complicated, married, and career all like together, I would be here for like an hour and a half, 2 hours for each sign. So I'm going to just sort of make it work for each of you, right? Unlike when I did with the deep love. And I'm going to try to do one deep love at least a month. But let's see what other messages we can get. But we're going to start with the career / money for our Libra friends, okay? Let's see what's going on. So we do have this idea of strong foundation being a priority for you guys. Absolutely. I like that we got the clover. That does indicate a fortunate set of circumstances. Center card, though, is the birch broom, which is all about argument. So there's going to be some sort of conflict. There's going to be some sort of back and forth. So now again, this can have to do with your career, or your career might be fine. You might be dealing with some sort of lawsuit. You might be dealing with a divorce settlement, some sort of alimony, some sort of child support situation. You know, anything like that. You know all those things that could fall in that way. Okay, that's funny. The head card in the deck came out. It's not a real card. I'm not putting it on the side because it doesn't matter. All right. Okay. Just going to say this straight out. Libra, who's either getting divorced or thinking about a divorce. Who is? Or moving out. Definitely ready to move forward, having a really hell of a hard time leaving the past. But for some of you, it's going to have to do with divorce here for sure. Okay, absolutely. And you're getting messages from the other side, somebody who loves you very much, that something needs to be done here. All right, let's pull the cards. And we'll see. Okay. So Ruby is all about committing to something. So committing to a career, committing to an agreement, committing to a lawsuit, committing to some sort of investment. Okay, that's what this is. So they're working with the key, and the key indicates that there's something that needs to be looked at and realized. Now, when you look at it and realize something, some sort of truth, you either have to let it be part of your reality, or put your head in the sand and make believe like you never heard the truth of something that you heard. But I don't think you're going to be able to do that, right? It doesn't seem like you're going to be able to do that. So, you know, because there's this truth that sort of lives within this cage, right? And when you think about it like that. And so are you going to release this truth, right? Open the cage and keep the cage open with the key? Or are you going to close it? You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with that truth? But we have this Father of Pentacles. So let's get a little idea on what the reality is, what the truth is here. We have the Father of Pentacles is all about a solid and practical, is very solid and practical energy. Somebody who's very wise with their money. It could be a wise investor or somebody who's very focused on money. So this could, for some of you, this could be somebody who's very shrewd with their money or attempts to be very shrewd, certainly. So if you're dealing with any sort of lawsuit, any sort of investment, anything like that, this could even be indicative of like a boss or somebody that you work with or for, but you know, where they're very sort of solid, practical, wise with their money. There needs to be something here that you need to see, you need to recognize. And what's interesting here is with the High Priestess, you're vibing it big time. You know, it's like you know what you have to do, because this is, the High Priestess is about trusting your intuition, but it's about being very secretive. It's getting your ducks in a row. It's planning and not talking to anybody about it. And the recommendation with this energy is don't talk about it. Don't. Right? The High Priestess is equivalent, is connected in astrology to the moon. So the moon is it's our emotions and what we feel underneath the surface, what we feel, and we don't really share with anybody. So I feel like you're feeling some sort of, so there's something going on with either a boss, somebody within a lawsuit. It could be a family situation, a business situation, a marital situation, anything like that. But it's like something needs to be realized here. And I see, maybe they're holding back money from you, or they're trying to manipulate something, or they're trying to gaslight or deflect a situation, or play something down. You see right through them. You see right through them, and you have no patience for what seems to be some sort of imbalanced scales, right? I mean, you got your glyph is the scales, right? So we have the clouds and the sun. So it definitely indicates to me that there's going to be some sort of conflict going on here, but there's going to be some resolution, and the resolution is going to be an argument. Sometimes it's like that. There is a necessary argument. There's some sort of showdown that has to happen here. Now, whether it's we could keep it tempered, to a discussion, but the birch broom does typically indicate where heads get heated because of injustice felt. Now, what's motivating you is an energy from the other side that is telling you, Libra, stand up for yourself. Watch out for yourself. This is not a selfish energy. This is somebody loving you, throwing you accolades, and letting you know that you're worth it, whatever you're going through right now in work. So this could either be, if this is not an energy from the other side, and I almost always get this as an energy from the other side. I feel it in my back when I get it. Very much about somebody's trying to send you a message, okay? So you want to pay attention to your dreams, to recurring numbers, to interesting smells out of nowhere, familiar smells out of nowhere, flooding of memories, coming back out of nowhere, your technology, wigging out for no apparent reason. It's so many different things. If you're suddenly super clumsy out of nowhere, this is the other side trying to get our attention, right? So if that is not the case for you, though, and this doesn't have to even be an energy that you're aware of, right, which happens a lot. So I've learned. That's what I've studied. This could be an elder in your family who's giving you some really, really good advice. Now, we have this Ten of Pentacles working here with the Mother of Swords. So we have the Mother of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. We have a lot of truth, first of all, this is total honesty. Total honesty. And this is the energy of self-sufficiency. And then we have this working with the Ten of Pentacles, which is about maturity. It also has to do with family. It's about leaving a legacy. This has to do with inheritance. So quite literally, you guys might be fighting over some sort of inheritance, some sort of situation like that. A retirement package of some sort could definitely be indicated here. But the Ten of Pentacles is also a family energy. Like, we have this house together as a family, we have this business together as a family, and then it's being clarified though by the Mother of Swords, which is very much about being self-sufficient and being really honest about the situation. So something needing to be rectified, having to do with your ability to take care of yourself and do what you need to do. Now, for some of you, you may have your own business, and this may be a situation where you're caught up in something here, where you're needing to fight for what you've worked for, fight for what you've established. Okay, now we have the birch broom again having to do with that argument, but then we have this with the heart. And the heart has to do with, a heart is the shape of peace and contentment and commitment, but there's a fight about this. So we have this working with the Mother of Wands, and the Mother of Wands is a very confident, very self-assured energy. Very confident. Very confident. Then we have, clarifying that, we have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is it's time to compromise, time to make a decision. So you want to be careful. There could be some ego action going on here. Seems like it would be called for, though. It does. But there's going to be a need for compromise, absolutely, and a need to make a decision. I feel like, because the heart of the matter, no pun, I'm not even going in that direction, but the heart of the matter really is whatever is happening here, it's very disruptive to your energy. You're not happy in whatever it is that you're doing here, having to do with this financial situation. So again, you could be very happy in your actual career, your job, and this could have to do with some sort of financial situation that's going on in the personal realm, such as divorce, inheritance, some sort of insurance payout, some sort of investment, coming to fruition. But I do feel like you're going to be dealing with somebody who's a little cocky, like a little, like very self-assured, very whatever. But the bottom line is there's going to need to be this decision. Now, I like that we got the Clover energy, because this is super positive. Very positive, but let's see what that's working with. So it's working with the clouds. There's definitely some sort of conflict that needs to be addressed here. Something doesn't seem totally clear to you right now. That's okay. I promised I wasn't going to talk about the astrology, but I can't not mention that you have Neptune in your 6th house, which is all about your day-to-day work environment, your day-to-day environment, period, as well as your health. So the fact that you got the clouds there, it's like you can't really see, and therefore you feel like there's a little bit of conflict, but there's something very benefic happening for you underneath, behind the scenes of something that you may not see right now. It's again, everything is playing out just as it's supposed to. And look at this, we get the 10 of Swords, complete and painful ending, rock bottom. So this is like the absolute end of a job, a career path, an investment strategy, some sort of lawsuit. This could be the end of a commitment that would have indicated any of those. And not only marriage, but also any kind of partnership, right? But there being like this lack of clarity, but everything is happening as it's supposed to happen. I mean, look at this. We get this working with the Father of Swords. Father of Swords is like, stay in the mental, Libra. Like, don't let your emotions get in the way. Stay in your air. Stay in your air. That's it. That's what this is. Capricorn and Aquarius, you another fellow air sign, just working in the mental. Don't allow the emotions to get in the way of anything. You're going to bite your nose. You don't want to bite your nose off to spite your face. You don't want to get into these sort of like cyclical, nonsensical, wasting time and energy, nitpicking kind of situations. It's like step away from it and just understand that you're entering a new cycle in your life. This is a new cycle, but a message is coming in, right? She's got the messenger bag. There's a message. But look at this. Oh my gosh. We got the same. These are two different Lenormand decks. And we got the same card in the other deck, clarifying the one in this deck. But I want you to notice the rider in this one. This rider is looking back as the horse looks forward. Because there's this idea of up and down, cycles. So you are going to be definitely dealing with something from the past. Just to understand that. That's okay. We get the Emperor energy. This is fabulous. Respect, leadership energy. The Emperor is an Aries energy. Aries is ruled by Mars. It's all about a fresh path and a new perspective. And come on, let's go. Like come on, let's go. Let's just do this. And let's just move things forward. So this could be you starting your own business, you focusing on your own business, you may be changing your strategy to do to something that you feel is going to be more effective. When I say not listening to other people, I don't mean that you're being difficult in not listening to other people, because you're going to be so intuitive in this High Priestess energy. You're going to know what's necessary. And so it really is like, trust yourself. But check it out. Then we have the Hierophant. It's about traditions, conventions, expectations, conformity. It's also the marriage card, 100%. yeah, and I don't even want to get into the astrology, the fact that, you know, you guys have this full moon happening in your 10th house and 4th house axis, which rules like not only your career but your public reputation. So that would be like being married, right? And so, and it's 4th house is home, so there's change going on there. But it's not only that, right? The Hierophant energy is also about your moral code, your moral compass, what you believe to be true, what society expects from you, what's expected, right? So I really like this with the Emperor energy, because you're taking control here. You're taking control. You're definitely moving forward. I actually really like that we got the rider and then the other rider clarifying, because they're different enough where it acknowledges like you're going into this next cycle. You're going to be looking behind you in that, but you're still going to be moving forward. See, because this energy is still moving forward. But you have to look at the past in order to not repeat mistakes, you know, at least in that. I mean, that's smart, right? I would think. Okay, my friend, so that is what I have for you for this. So it does look like definitely, if it's a lawsuit, it's like somebody needs to conform to the law is going to win out. So if this is a situation where it's just overtly obvious that there was a legal wrongdoing here, you will win out. If that's not the case, whatever is legally right will end up winning out here with the Hierophant energy. There is definitely new cycle if this has to do with divorce or anything like that. And dare I say, the energy is going to be really supportive of things going very smoothly in this area, as smoothly as they can go, for goodness sake, right? I mean, these things are always hard, even when we're the ones who want it, right? So I only say that as somebody who's been divorced myself, who's pushed for the divorce, you know. Still, it's always very hard. I'm not saying that as a Libra. I have my Mars in Libra, that's it. All right, so now we're going to go into relationship. So let's pull some Wisdom of the Oracle. Just, it doesn't matter what style relationship you're in, whether you're single, complicated, married, doesn't really matter. Between worlds. Okay. Tribe. The tribe. The family, the idea of family, the idea of being family. Treasure Island. By the book. Okay, definitely family has something to do with this, wanting to do something by the book, but really not being sure if you actually want that. What you are in right now. Because by the book, you want to, this is actually kind of like a Hierophant energy, right? It's by the book. It is about traditions, conventions, conforming, expectations. Treasure Island is, you know, what is a treasure? Treasure, it's a hidden treasure. It's something that we can't see right away, but it's something that we feel is there. We could feel the presence. We can feel the success. We can feel the happiness in our belly, even if it's not in our existence right now. There is this idea of wanting to have this sense of partnership that brings us this beautiful peace and happiness, where we are like family to each other. We have each other's back. We blend families. Those of you who are already a family, this may be a sticking point for you as far as you know, dealing with whatever you're dealing with right now. The sticking point could be the idea of starting a family. Some of you may be you know, deciding whether you want to have a child or not in that space. And, you know, between worlds obviously means being between situations. So for some of you, this is going to be, you're at a crossroads. But the thing is, it's not at a crossroads, because then we would have gotten a fork in the road. Between worlds literally means, like, emotionally, you're like literally in two places at once. You know, because it's like you're here. You're in the Treasure Island space. What you see in your mind's eye is you wanting in relationship, you being with that energy, even if it's like a faceless energy, right? Just being in something that you know is going to make you feel better. You know, we get the tribe and by the book. I mean, this is just like, you just want to feel like they are solid with you. You guys could be family. You guys could build. You guys can create, you know. So you feel it. But you're between worlds right now. And half of the world that you're in is very dark. But you're wanting to head in, and many of you are heading into a lighter area. right now, having to do with relationship. So you're confused. Feel like you don't belong anymore. Feel like you don't belong anymore. And you know, and there's this Five of Swords. It's like, is it ever going to be any different than it is right now? I don't know. I don't think so. You know, it's a Venus and Aquarius energy. And the louder, this is the thing with the Five of Swords energy. It's like, almost like a cyclical arguing energy. You can keep yelling, but nobody's going to hear you any clearer. You're not going to hear them. They're not going to hear you. No one's winning. The only thing you can control is how you step away from the situation. You know. But we have by the book, and then we have temperance. Beautiful. And what needs to happen here is a tempering. Expectations, conformity. Like, what's necessary for a relationship to work? Those of you who are single may be coming to terms with the fact that you need to understand how you need to show up. Maybe you haven't been willing up to this point because you had a bad experience in the past. Or maybe you're having a really hard time finding somebody who actually fits that bill. Somebody who actually understands compromise, who can actually understand normal expectations in a relationship. And then we have the tribe. And then we have the Eight of Swords. So this tells me if you're in a space where you're already together, you're already with family, you know, with this person, there's something about the energy that you are feeling like you don't belong in anymore. Because this is about self-imposed isolation, restriction, and just feeling like there's a rock in your shoe, right? Having to do with this situation. It's just not feeling right. Something is not feeling right. And then we have the Two of Coins here, clarifying the between the worlds, right? Two of Coins is weighing options, weighing many options. So definitely between things, weighing options, feeling like, you know, whatever you were in, are in, whatever with this person, not sure if it's the right thing for you right now. I don't feel like you guys can agree on what it is that you want for the future. It doesn't seem like your ideas of happily ever after, if there even is such a thing, whatever, but like planning things moving forward, it's like not in alignment with each other, you know? But there needs to be temperance. Will there be? There definitely needs to be this temperance, like this is what's expected in a relationship. You can't go off to Vegas every weekend and play with your friends, okay? You can't, you know, go and just blow $5,000 shopping on new, you know, for new clothes without like consulting, you know, however, you know, there's a kind of like exaggerated whatever, but you guys get the point, right? Okay, so let's get right into this. We're going to start with you, Libra, where you're at, relationship, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's start off with the situation, what's happening here. Wheel of Fortune, Chariot. Libra, somebody's going. Let me not say anything, you know, because then you never know what they. Don't return to somebody from the past so fast. If that's what you're thinking, Libra. Just saying, the only, I read reversals, and a lot of times the reversals are way more positive than the upright. The Six of Cups, which is the you in the reading, is reversed. We're going to talk about that in a second. So first of all, coming into this energy, Eight of Coins, Eight of Pentacles, mastering your craft, trying to focus on your work, throwing yourself into work, throwing yourself into perhaps another connection, focusing on throwing yourself into what would be necessary to make this relationship work. Yeah, part of you really didn't want it to work. That's what's interesting to me here. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and it's working with the Chariot. The Chariot is absolutely complementing it. So the Wheel of Fortune is a very benefic energy. It's good fortune. It's turning point energy. It's gambling. It's ruled by Jupiter, which is all about luck and expansion. So when it comes to relationship, it's really great if you're meeting somebody new. If you are, let's say you're single and you've been focusing on your work up to this point, really kind of getting your ducks in a row about what it is exactly that you're looking for a relationship. And this is you, Wheel of Fortune. This is really awesome because this is, Wheel of Fortune is very, it's a blessing energy for a new relationship. It's great energy to get for a new relationship. For those of you who are returning to somebody from the past or thinking about it, only if the bones of the relationship are good. If the bones are bad and you're dealing with a narcissist or somebody who's just so self-absorbed and negative and just toxic, you're not going to get it. It's not going to be blessed. That's the way the Wheel of Fortune works when it comes to relationships. Now, as being complemented by the Chariot is all about movement. Chariot's about movement. It's connected to Cancer in astrology. And so and what precedes the Chariot is the Mars energy, which is the Tower. So it's definitely recognizing that something has been toxic that you were in, whether it was that you let yourself stay single for too long, or you were exposing yourself to very unhealthy relationships up to this point, or this marriage or relationship that you're in right now or that you were recently in, really not good for you. Getting on and going elsewhere, moving away from the toxicity to go towards what you're metaphorically meant to be with as far as home. And that's how that works. Yeah. And look at how she's holding her hand over her stomach in the shape of a heart. Right? That's the sign and the location her hands. That indicates fertility, which she knows ahead of her is more fertile grounds. There's more positive ahead of her than behind her. Now, the best that can be achieved from the circumstances is Ten of Coins energy, which is really great. I mean, look, this is the card of maturity. Leaving a legacy, family, working together to leave a legacy. In your mind, the best to be achieved from any circumstance, Libra, you just want to be able to have a healthy relationship that's got connected family. That's what you want. The reason for the reading, though, is that we have a lot of arguing. You're dealing with a bit of a bully. This is a very violent, almost, at least verbally abusive energy. At least verbally abusive. But it's fighting over, is it ever going to be any different moving forward? Probably not. Venus and Aquarius. Fighting, is it going to be any different going into the future? Nobody wins here, though. Nobody really wins. You're certainly not winning in that one. The only thing you control, again, is how you handle the situation, which is, moving away with grace and dignity and your head held high, knowing that you did the best that you could in a situation. Now we have you, and only you. We have the Six of Cups, as I mentioned before, in reverse. And the thing is, this is living in the past with unrealistic expectations. And there is a level of being like naive in this energy as well. Like, you might be glorifying something from the past in the rearview mirror. And there's a reason that they're in your past, Libra. Right? So there's a reason. They're not good for you. That energy is not good for you. So don't have, in a moment of weakness, return to somebody from your past or go back to something that you know is not good for you. If this was healthy for you, it would be in the upright. It's the only one in reverse. So we have to pay attention to that. The Four of Wands is an external influence affecting you. And this is like the marriage card. Honeymoon. It's strong foundation. It's also, it's a reunion energy as well. But it's celebrating with friends and family. It's a home energy. It's a marriage energy. It's also called the honeymoon card. But strong foundation nonetheless. Now, this is not you. This is an external influence affecting you. This is your environment. So you have a strong foundation, strong support system in your environment. We have the Nine of Coins in your hope or fears, right? It's very interesting because part of you really wants to do your own thing. Part of you wants to be self-sufficient and just do your own thing, but then another part of you is afraid of doing that, of breaking away, of just being like alone, of just being, even if you work, I mean, it doesn't have to do with that, but just, it could be actual money, or it could just actually be like the pragmatics, like what is your life going to look like without this person? Or if you're single, you could definitely be in the space of, see, if you're single, I have to tell you, I still see you looking back at the past. That's what I'm getting. That's a strong energy to get there, because this is definitely looking back in the past, living in the past, and being very unrealistic when you look back there. If that is your story, just remember why things ended the first time around. And people can change. People can level their energy up for sure. I mean, if you both have leveled up since then, but let's see what we have going on. We get the High Priestess. At least look, there's secrets here. There's trusting your intuition. But I feel like there are secrets being held back here. My God, I feel like cycle. Sorry for the delay. I'm feeling this very strong. Somebody needs to hear that. You're together, you're not together, but I feel like there's another energy involved in this mix. There is. It's like you're sort of giving lip service, and I don't mean malice by that, but like you will probably really like for this relationship to work out, but it's just not doing it for you. For whatever reason, they're not showing up. Whatever the case is, they're just not a good partner for you, and you're realizing this. So some of you may be communicating with somebody from your past, but you're not totally out of the other thing. Yeah, because there are secrets here in the High Priestess, and then the final outcome, we have the King of Coins. The King of Coins is about solid and practical, energy, making a wise decision. Wise. Okay, so for some of you, Libra, I'm sorry I have to tell you what I'm getting. I feel like you're strategizing something here. Can't be mad at you for it at all. That's what I see. I do. Now, this person that you're flirting literally with the idea of perhaps going back to being with, whatever, you might just be talking to them, whatever the case. This might just be to make yourself feel a little better in the moment. I know that sounds really shallow, but, I always say, people grow in the sunlight. They're like flowers, and they whittle in the shade, right? If they don't get enough love and attention or whatever. So somebody from the past might just be making you feel good, or somebody from your past. This could even just be like an old friend, but just watch out, because they might, they might have other intentions. So you do want to just watch out for that. But this is what I see. So this is very interesting to me, because it's almost like I'm feeling like somebody wanting to try again at a relationship, but like half of you have checked out of it and the other half hasn't. This is a very specific message, my friend. So if this is not your reading, then it's not your reading. But this is coming through loud and clear. There's something you are very tight-lipped about coming into this future, the near future. Very tight. It's almost like getting your ducks in a row. A lot of you are doing that. Others of you, you may be meeting somebody new and you're not disclosing anything about your past to them. It's almost like you genuinely, well, like, it's none of your business kind of thing, which, if you feel that way, then I'm sure you have a reason for feeling that way, 100%, Let's see what's going on with your partner's energy, or another energy that you might be meeting. Ten of Cups, Temperance. All right, well, first of all, if you're just meeting somebody now, it seems like they were in a space in the recent past where they were really trying to meet somebody. They were trying to communicate with somebody online. They were trying to just meet people maybe at work. But they were just doing them. They were living them. They were walking around their neighborhood, doing their local stuff, maybe going to the gym, not going to the gym because of COVID, working, meeting people, but, just really trying to make something happen for them while just, living their life. For those of you, who are in a complicated or a serious relationship where there is actually a person, this is somebody from their perspective. This is a subjective read. From their perspective, they were trying to make something work. They were trying to communicate. They were trying to show up in the relationship in a way to improve things. So we have the situation for them right now is the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups is all about family contentment, total love and support. And it's being complemented by the Temperance energy, which is about balance, harmony, being very patient, having self-control, moderation, sort of like being on almost, dare I say, like good behavior. But there is this idea of, because the Temperance is an alchemical card, so it's about compromise, right? So the compromise is being done here, right? In order to be able to feel that. So in their mind, the best that can be achieved in this situation, we have the Strength energy. Very interesting, though, because the Strength energy is about self-love, self-respect, courage, but it's very much a me energy. It's Leo. And it's focused on romance, love, falling in love. Not necessarily marriage, though. It's focused on one's creativity. It's focused on, it's unconditional love as well, but it's the need to stroke somebody's ego. So they may be identifying that they need their ego stroked. They need to be made to feel better. Maybe they're not getting that from you. I don't know. You might be dealing with a Leo. But that is what I'm getting here, which is interesting to me, because if it was had to do with marriage, it would be the Justice card, but the Strength energy. Hold on a second. And then we have this working with the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is very lusty, very free-spirited, very focused on their creative drives, what they want to do, how they want to do it. It's kind of very much like that kind of energy. It's a Scorpio and Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is very freedom, it's all about freedom. Scorpio does rule sex, as well as change and transition. So I feel like Libra, whoever you're dealing with, they have a very fragile ego, okay? And they need their ego stroked. They need to be made to feel good about themselves. Even if you sit there and you're like, but do something for me to want to do that for you. That's how some of you guys are going to be understanding this. Now, for those of you who are single and you're meeting somebody new, this person, I just, because the Magician energy in and of itself is about turning visions into reality and then understanding compromise. And then we have this energy of falling in love. See, again, the Strength energy is about falling in love and love affairs, new. It's like a new romance. And the Knight of Wands is sort of, there's this newness to it too. Now them and only them is the Chariot, which is making me think like, I feel like the two of, okay, if you're still together, I feel like you guys are both telling each other, yeah, let's work on the marriage, let's work on the relationship, but it's almost like you're both entertaining other energies. Does that make sense? It's got to make sense to somebody. This is coming through really strong. Absolutely. But now, let me finish this read for those of you who are single, okay? Let me go through these last couple of cards for those of you who are single. They're in the Chariot energy right now. So the Chariot is all about making a decision to leave something that was toxic in the past, incite action and change, and move forward towards something that's more like the metaphorical home space, something that's not toxic, that is more grounded, safe, secure, right? Now we have that with the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is an immature card. I'm not going to lie, it is. The Wands is a phallic symbol. The Page is immature. It's the young'un of the court. And now this is the external influences affecting them. So they might be viewing you as a little immature, or this just might be the general energy that's surrounding them where they want to play the field a little bit. We have in their hope and fear, they want somebody who's nurturing, supportive, and healing. They want somebody that they feel very safe and secure with, but they're also fearing it at the same time because they don't even know what to do with that. And getting this energy really doesn't even know what to do with that, to be honest with you. However, in the near future, for those of you who are single, we have this building energy, Mars and Capricorn. This is all about teamwork, collaboration, putting your efforts into some sort of shared purpose as far as how you guys are going to be moving forward, right? It is the architect energy. It's about, okay, you know, how are we going to do this? How are we going to move forward? And then we have the star, and the star really does represent the future. This is about renewal, hope, inner clarity, miracles, having faith, right? Ruled by Uranus, so it's all about the future and moving forward. For those of you who are in a complicated or a married situation, I want to go back to the Chariot. I do feel like there is another energy involved here, and in their mind, they're in the space of leaving. Okay, something, because it does seem like they're looking to leave the commitment because there's this new energy involved that they're being kind of sucked into. But I feel like, again, I keep going back to the line, I keep going back to the strength energy here. I feel like they need their ego stroked. I feel like they need their ego stroked. You know, and they're afraid of the Queen. Again, the Queen of Cups is a beautiful, nurturing, supportive energy. They don't even know what to do with that. I don't know if it's because they don't feel like they're worth it. You know, I don't know if it's because they feel like, you know, there's too much pressure on them to show up. Whatever it is like I'm getting a lot of fear off of this. Getting a lot of fear. So now we have the Three of Pentacles. And again, the Three of Pentacles is about teamwork, collaboration, right? Really trying to come together. You know, putting the work in something in the near future. But then we have the Star, and I have to tell you, the Star, it's ruled by Uranus. It is about the future, but it's also the energy of the revolutionary, of something shocking coming in. We always say Uranus is where shocking surprises come in. So something shocking is going to happen. That's going to end up inciting the sense of renewal and hope and inner clarity. There is a healing element to the Star. But healing doesn't mean that you have to stay together. Let me just get more. Yeah, I mean, look, Libra, you want to avoid any more cyclical kind of things if you can. You know, listen, I'm just telling you the weather, right? Because the Nine of Wands means, you know, you're keeping and maintaining your boundaries, but you still want to try to make this work. Because it's like you guys come together and you're like, all right, let's try something different. But then we have that working with the Devil energy, which is all about imbalance. This could be addiction, greed, envy, materialism, sexual lust, something that you just can't get past. Something that's unchecked and untreated that's creating a heavy imbalance in the relationship. And then we have the Hermit energy. The Hermit energy is, it's a Virgo energy, but really it's about going within, right? For clarity, quest for personal truth, personal illumination. Yeah. And we have the Moon. So you want to be careful with the Moon energy. Well, first of all, this tells me that you're going to be very confused. Now, this is the thing. You may be the one getting caught doing something. They may be. It doesn't really matter. This is what's going to be happening here is what I see. The Moon energy is connected to Pisces, even though it rules Cancer. It's kind of weird. But Pisces ruled by Neptune is very deep lack of clarity, self-sabotaging behavior, where we can get in our own way. We want to be careful here, Libra. You want to make sure that you're not telling yourself any sort of false narratives about what's gone on, who did what, how things rolled out. You have nothing to gain by that. Be completely honest with yourself. Be completely honest with them. But that's what I see happening here. But it's very interesting, though, because they see them not seeing their part in something here. Because it always takes two, regardless of how things work out. Even if one person does all the hurtful actions, the other person, their role in it is to process that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, addiction. Look at that engagement ring. Hammer. Abundance. We have the chaser in a codependent relationship. Fear of abandonment issues, addiction, codependency, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, restraint, engagement ring, partnership, commitment. Hammer, sabotage, repetitive. But not learning the lesson. Not really learning the lesson here. You know, I always say, something I always said about my father. I always said my father, all he has in his toolbox is a hammer, so he treats everything like a nail in his life, right? He's just like, he's ill-equipped, right? When it comes to his emotional intelligence and just, you know, his ability to handle things in life. And it's just, he will not learn lessons, right? So I do feel like there's that kind of energy, but I don't feel like it's you, Libra. And I'm not saying that because I'm speaking to you. But here it's like, keep a positive mindset. Focus on manifesting exactly what it is that you want. Yeah, the chaser in a codependent relationship, clarifying that, we got the 10 of Wands. Just becoming too much stress, exhaustion, too many burdens. Addiction, 5 of Pentacles, making you feel very alone. Poverty mindset. Very worried all the time. Engagement ring, but feeling like, engagement ring just means that level of partnership, feeling like you really don't belong in it anymore. Like there's a rock in your shoe in the relationship. Something you believed in at one point no longer feels right to you. The hammer, sabotaging, yeah. Battle of the wills, battle of the ego. Round and round and round. Saturn and Leo. Absolutely. Defending yourself, defending yourself, defending yourself. Why do you keep defending yourself, Libra? Let it go. It's not you, for goodness sake. It's not. Sorry, cross watchers. And we have abundance. This is where your abundance is, my friend. Go it alone for a minute. Figure out what's good for you. Go within for clarity. This is a quest for personal truth and spiritual illumination. Absolutely. So I feel like for those of you who are single, you might be dealing with an energy that's not 100% over something else or not 100% ready for the relationship. So just be super careful. Just be super careful with that. Yeah. Okay, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.